It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Rain is coming in. It's delayed a little bit. It was supposed to be here today. It looks like Friday and Saturday are going to be the big rain days. So if you live in the Burn Scar area, you got to listen to the weather updates and weather emergency reports that will appear on this station. We'll play them every time we get them, and we'll warn you where it's coming, where it's going, what hills are sliding. It'll all be here on KFI. One beautiful station to follow back-to-back storms that are coming in. Back-to-back storms. I saw, I'm sort of a news junkie. I watch TV news all day long, and I saw and heard 3 different stations say two back-to-back storms coming in. And I thought, nobody really corrects that. It's kind of doubled up there. Because in order to have back-to-back storms, it can only be 2. Back-to-back. That's what back-to-back is. That's like saying, it happened at 4 a.m. this morning. Well, 4 a.m. could only be in the morning. Or 4 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, that shooting happened at 4:15 in the morning. 4:15 a.m. in the morning. All right. I don't know why that bothers me. Okay, here's a great James Worthy story for you. There's a charity that they do next door on 570 AM called the Paralyzed Veterans of America, the PVA, and they raise a lot of money for Paralyzed Veterans of America. And they do it old school, where there's a phone bank and celebrities and athletes come in and they man the phones. And you get to talk to, Magic Johnson or James Worthy or, your favorite Laker or King. I think Kopitar came in one year. And they raise a lot of money. So I heard that James Worthy was in the building, literally next door. And so I walk over and he's standing by himself. There's nobody with him. He was going to go in and be a part of the Petros and Money show. And I said, excuse me, Mr. Worthy. He's my favorite athlete of all time. This guy handled himself great during his college career, his NBA career, and just he gave me a lot of great nights, this guy. And I said, I really want to meet you. I'm a huge fan of yours, and I have been for a long time. And I can't tell you how many nights during the championships I was screaming and yelling and all crazy. He goes, hey, what are you good? He goes, are you on this sports station? I said, no, I'm on next door. The Conway show. He goes, I know who you are. He goes, is your dad Tim Conway? I said, yeah. And he put his head down and he said, I got to tell you something. He said, I've earned more money than I could ever spend from the NBA. I got a championship in college. I think he won it with Michael Jordan. I think Michael Jordan was on the same team in 1981 or 82 with the Tar Heels. He also won 3 NBA champions. He said, I won 3 NBA championships with the Lakers. He won in 85, 87, 88. 7-time All-Star. Number 1 pick coming out of college. Number 1. And then he said, and I get goosebumps when I hear this, even when I repeat it. He said, I would give all of it away. Every dime, every award, every ring, every championship. I would give it all away if I could spend 10 more minutes on the couch with my grandmother watching the Carol Burnett show. How great is that? Wow. What kind of impact that show had on him when he was a youngster, and he would give it all away for 10 more minutes with his grandmother on a couch watching the Carol Burnett show. It's incredible. I mean, this guy has had it all, and one of his greatest memories in the world is, those hot summer nights in North Carolina, sitting on the couch with his grandmother watching TV.
I think that's the power of, that show and your dad.
I guess.
That so many families were able to watch it. It didn't matter you're a kid or, grandmother, that you gathered around to watch that show. Because a lot of messages we get from your listeners are about what your father meant to them, like growing up.
That's great. And it's sort of continuing the tradition, I guess, here on KFI. But thank you very much. I think somebody said that. Maybe I'll say it. I don't know. But it was TV watching had to be done as a family because there were no repeats. It didn't come on later. It didn't come on 3 times a day. There was no VCR. You couldn't rent it and watch it later. You couldn't tape it at home when we were kids growing up. That technology didn't exist. And so the family would get together and watch TV together. And it really is missed nowadays. Now your son or daughter watches TV with you and they're on their phone the whole time. They rarely look up at the TV. And that's considered watching TV together with your 3 kids. They're on their phone the whole time. And you ask a guy, hey, what'd you do last night? Oh, I watched TV with my kids. Oh, is that great? What'd you watch? Well, I watch it. They were on their phone the whole time. But we watched together, and that's good enough for now. But back then, especially when these, this is the time of year when these shows came on for kids. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving or Charlie Brown Christmas, Charlie Brown, Halloween, The Great Pumpkin. And for some reason, I always remember they came on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But you turn on CBS Tuesday at 8 o'clock and you would see Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, followed by usually The Grinch. And it was just, the whole family got together and watched it together. And you got, you had to take a shower or a bath early and put on your pajamas to get down and watch TV at 8 o'clock. And it was great. And the older people listening right now, you know what I'm talking about all getting together and watching that TV together. You know it. And you missed that too. Maybe you didn't have that with your kids because these shows now you can rent them and play them anytime. There's no importance to it. All right, we're going to be in Yorba Linda. We're coming to Orange County and Yorba Linda Friday, a week from tomorrow. 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., live broadcast. Smart and Final in Yorba Linda, 21500. 21500 Yorba Linda Boulevard. And Bellio, last night I was cleaning out boxes in the garage, and I found a KFI backpack, ding-dong hats, a ding-dong car, another backpack, and I'm going to auction all that stuff off, and we're going to give every dime to me. Yeah. That's how it's going to shake.
You're going to auction it off to yourself?
We're going to auction off, then I'm going to keep all the money.
I don't think that's how it works.
All right, then I'll give it to charity. We're going to give it to Katarina's Club. Every dime is going to Katarina's Club. Every dime. So you got to be there for the auction. We'll be auctioning off all day. From 4 to 8 p.m. While we're there. And so different items go up at different times. And to the people who donated those items, I hope you don't mind me selling them. It's for a good cause. It's not going to me. It's going to Katarina's Club.
And because it's Smart and Final, man, don't think there ain't going to be room for anybody who wants to come by.
That's right.
Swing by.
Yes.
The more the merrier.
We have gift bags for the first 250 people that show up.
Ooh.
What's in the gift bag, Belly? Have we decided or have you discovered?
It's a surprise.
Okay. I guess to you too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprise to everybody. But we'll have giveaways, food samples, and the first 250 people that show up.
Raffles and gift cards. All that
auction is now a part of it. An auction. And Bellio, could you handle that, the auction?
What do I have to do?
Oh, you just got to manhandle it. Okay, we got a chase going on Channel 4. Oh. Eliana Moreno is Hot Pursuit. We got chase number 2. And it looks like, is this on the Valley? This is Genesta Avenue. This is I believe this could be Encino. I have to see where Genesta goes here. I know that Angel will be on top of it here in a second. Oak Park Avenue and Genesta. It's in the heart of the San Fernando Valley. Channel 2 has popped on. Lake Balboa.
As well as the airship
Lake Balboa.
Oh, that daylight savings nighttime's already in.
Yeah. What kind of car is that? Is that a Lexus or a...
anything about the driver? Any passengers inside that car?
And the cops are pissed from the earlier chase.
We only know that this is coming back as a stolen car.
Uh-oh.
They actually followed it for quite a while before they attempted to pull it over, and they waited for the right number.
Wild chase in the valley,
which was approximately
Satakoy and Genesta, Lake Balboa.
This driver over.
That's out near Sherman Way and Balboa.
That it's been a very dangerous chase
Satakoy.
ever since. I can see that.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of a
his or her window
crossover
down,
SUV.
Maybe wearing a red baseball cap, but I can't quite see if he has a passenger.
He's on Satakoy, Forbes, Satakoy, Balboa. Balboa.
two-door from what I can
Lake
tell.
Balboa.
And this, again,
Channel
is
4 is
the
on it.
LAPD's,
Channel 2 is
westbound
on it.
division that is in pursuit.
Chris Christie's on his way on Channel 7.
I saw LAPD
Flying.
close to
And that's a that's a really dependable car, too. That car can really handle on the road.
Satakoy, you saw those units that you were just mentioning.
Satakoy.
They're not right on his tail. They're giving him a little bit in the way of room, but we are getting very
Van Nuys
close to
Airport. There's a lot of dead ends here.
There's another one there.
A lot of dead ends coming up.
End up driving himself into a dead end.
Jay Leno's garage?
But at this point,
that's
the airship
Burbank
is
Airport.
calling it out. Of course, it's a difficult area for us to fly in, being so close to the airport. But he is really flying.
He's going to come out on Sherman Way here, looks
Van
like.
Nuys Airport.
Yeah, going 70 miles per hour at times.
It's going faster than the planes.
Here. This is an area where
He's at Van Nuys Airport.
Right, Eliana?
Oh, there's a dead end coming up here. He's not
just on the west side of the
Lots
airport.
of commercial businesses.
Oh, he's not going to like this.
He's going to drive himself into a dead end. He's not too familiar with this area. But he's
he'll get out there. That's a good way to get out.
This might be my chance to get a little bit closer of a look on this car.
He'll get out of this.
But perhaps some sort of a Toyota potentially. But
or Stafouche calls it Toyota.
Smaller car.
That's Toyota.
With, what looks to be a male driver.
Oh, no. Males take another hit.
Just on
These
west
males.
of the,
See, if he turned left there, that's a dead end. Oh, he turned right. Okay.
Here behind on the ground where the
He still could run into a dead end here, though.
Again,
this is
got the nav on that vehicle.
High-speed chase. Van Nuys Airport. That's where you hear, if you hear all these helicopters, that's what's happening right now over Van Nuys Airport.
Yeah, everything around
Stag and Balboa. Oh, a guy crossing the street almost bought it.
In a small residential area.
Now we've turned on.
Very busy streets. We're out
looks like
on
Sherman
Balboa
Way.
Boulevard.
Oh, Balboa, okay.
Pursuit goes right under us. And I didn't see any units directly behind it, but I could kind of see the glimmer there.
He's moving.
Of, the black and white.
Second big chase of the day.
Hey, now. Second stolen car, too.
Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 7.
Van Nuys Airport. Always a high.
All right, we'll come back.
Area.
The second high-speed chase in the same area. This is where the first one ended, right in the same area. It's a hotbed for these chases. All right, we're live on KFI AM 640. We'll continue with this chase.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
All right, let's find out what Chris Christie's doing live above this chase here.
Your car that you're used to driving, maybe the's a little bit of a learning
Corbin
there as
and
well,
Kittredge,
trying to
San Fernando Valley, hotbed for stolen cars.
And not being familiar with it enough to know, I guess, how to operate it efficiently.
Yeah, you have to take that into consideration. You also have to wonder.
All right, when we have chases, we always have our friend Johnny Hanson come in from LA County Sheriff's Department, and he is with us. Let's pop his mic on here. Johnny Shaky Hands Hanson, how are you, bub?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Yes, Shaky's here. Hey, so you were many, many years in law enforcement. How long are you with LA County?
35 years.
35 years. This is it comes back as a stolen vehicle. Would LA County chase this guy?
We would generally chase him for about 2 minutes, roughly.
Is that it?
Yeah, and then if the speeds went 20 miles above the posted speed limit, the watch commander would usually call it off.
Really?
Yeah.
But doesn't that piss off the guys on the street when they call it off?
It does, but usually at the end of the day, you want to go home. You want to go home in one piece,
Sure.
and God forbid you run into some family or some pedestrian. So we understand it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, understand.
All right, let's go back to Chris Christie here and find out where this chase is going. Orange Line Busway.
No, he's making the.
Oh, that's right. That's you. That right where I live. Fuller. No, that's right. Tampa.
Turn onto Tampa.
Yes, that's Tampa.
He's in Tarzana now. So basically, folks,
he's going south. I live literally 2 blocks from where this guy is.
Traversing. We've seen some
going
residential
northbound or
areas.
southbound on
some
Tampa?
industrial areas near Van Nuys Airport.
I think he's going southbound on Tampa.
Some residential areas that we should.
He's coming up on Ventura Freeway and Ventura Boulevard.
You can see the level.
There's a great KFC there. Great KFC there.
And it is pretty frightening. So if you are out,
if he stays in that lane, he's going to go on the 101. Oh, clipped that
keep
car.
That in mind. It may
he clipped
come
that
by,
Tesla
and
truck.
If it does, you are at risk. Because he's really going at high rates of speed.
Northbound.
Is that a turn onto the freeway?
Okay. I think it is. Yeah, northbound 101.
The 101 freeway now going northbound.
Yeah.
Was his car smoking after that? Did you see that coming out of the
through some dust or dirt? I don't think it was.
With a need for speed.
This guy's northbound now on the 101. CHP might get involved now.
Obviously, there's never a great place, but the freeway is the best possible
this guy's
scenario
hauling ass.
for a guy like this. If CHP can get into position, they may be able to help create some traffic breaks here. But in rush hour traffic, that is difficult
seeing
to do.
two of these in one day,
see this on the freeway,
I got to wonder how often does it happen that we don't know about? Like on average today, how many other cars might have been stolen?
40 a day, probably. Especially in LA.
In the valley. Yeah.
Through Woodland Hills, coming up
Valley's an asshole.
CHP has been notified.
You're talking about not having any action in the valley. You don't have any sports. You don't have any this. You don't have any that. You've got 2 chases in one day.
Right. That's why we're chasing. That's why we have nothing to do. We got to steal cars all day in the valley.
Place for it, but still,
LAPD northbound 101
pushes the pedal to the metal. Every
coming up on Topanga.
He's hugging that number 2 lane. We'll see if
Woodland
he decides to get back off the
Hills.
freeway.
All right.
He sees the traffic ahead of him here. Traffic is pretty heavy up and down the freeway.
Topanga. Maybe he's going to Monty's Steakhouse. Got that kind of money, maybe.
I was going to ask you, what's the traffic look like ahead of him? If you look a mile or so, or however distance ahead, does it start to stack
High-speed chase,
up,
channel 2, 4, 5, 7. We're watching channel 7. 101 northbound.
I would say it happens to be that the heaviest traffic is coming in the opposite direction. Either way,
he's getting off at DeSoto.
He is getting
it's a wrong move. There's a CHP station right there.
At DeSoto, but I can tell you that LAPD has just terminated this pursuit.
Wow.
So at the moment, they are putting a pause on this one. They are not going to continue.
If he turns right here, he's going to go right by a CHP
but LAPD's
station.
Airship is remaining overhead. So the pursuit has been terminated. The helicopter is
bad
still in place.
news.
We will see how the behavior behind the wheel changes here. We hope that he just decelerates here and goes into the night. If they're going to let it go, if they've made that decision that this is just too risky to continue, then let's just hope that he
right there's a CHP station right there.
Calms down here, because if not, they'll be forced to re-engage. Whether CHP wants to get involved at this point or not.
All right, we can turn the audio down there a little bit. Johnny Hanson's with us, LA County Sheriff's Department bomb squad. When a chase is called off like this, it bums the hell out of the guys on the street. But doesn't encourage more chases if you get aggressive and you are driving recklessly and fast. That's the move then.
I think a lot of these guys realize like LAPD has a very restrictive pursuit policy. Sheriffs are pretty restrictive, but you get into cities like Hermosa Beach, Huntington Beach, Beverly Hills, they're chasing you till the wheels fall off.
Huntington Beach, too.
Oh, Eric Parra, Chief Parra, former Linwood Sheriff's deputy.
He'll chase you right the F out of town.
He'll get out of his house and chase you.
But I think this encourages more guys to radically flee the cops if they're going to call off a chase.
I think you're right.
It's a bad, I don't know. There's 2 different schools of thought. If you stop chasing the guy, he'll calm down. Maybe he won't kill anybody. That's good. But if you do stop chasing him, that encourages kids to steal. When they steal a car, go bonkers, and then the cops won't chase you. It seems like the exact opposite of what society should be.
100%.
And Johnny, what do they call it when they still are watching them from overhead, but just not chasing them?
What do they call it when they're watching from overhead but not chasing?
Surveillance mode.
Surveillance mode. All right, so they're in surveillance mode. This guy's pulling over, though. It looks like he's he's going down an alley here. And, he can still hear the helicopters over him, so he probably thinks he's still being chased. Unless he's listening to KFI, then he knows the chase is off. Oh, this is horrible.
Like in a big box warehouse parking lot.
Area.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to park and go Christmas shopping.
Have gone home for the day.
Maybe he's waiting for Coast to flip. Is that possible?
He just decides to dump the vehicle here and hide out.
Hey, Bellio, can we mention when Coast flips?
Park the car and go into the night. Certainly a possibility here. Go into the night. Certainly a possibility here. It would be the best case scenario if you ask me. But LAPD really still nowhere to be seen here except for the airstrip. He's now jumping a fence. Jumping a fence. He's on private property here.
Now the cops will get involved.
Where he wants to go, but there's nobody chasing him. He's basically all by himself.
They're going to rat him out here.
His bag just emptied out.
Oh, my God. He lost all his crap.
Those are stolen along with the car or not. But
now they'll chase him. He's got a MAGA hat on. That's unusual.
A backpack and a very distinctive red cap.
Bag of jeans.
You can spot that guy from 800 feet in the air pretty easily.
I like Mark Brown's description. A very distinctive red hat.
So here he goes. He's going into what appears to be, as you said, an apartment complex or perhaps a hotel.
Yeah, either Angels or MAGA. I would guess Angels.
Pretty big complex, and
but that's an expensive
hotel. But I can tell you that LAPD's airship has now pulled off as well. So
LAPD's helicopter split too.
But right now we're the only ones that can see it because LAPD has pulled off of this completely now, and it's surprising to me.
Why have him then?
And I think you'd agree, Mark, to see him on private property like this, jumping the fence and then heading into this, whether it's a hotel or an apartment complex. Not sure yet. Can you push it on that sign really quick? It looks like it might be. Can you push it on that sign, Robbie?
I think it's apartments.
On the roof of the building.
Roddy, push on over.
Come on, Roddy, work with us.
An apartment complex. In any event.
Oh, there it is.
This is the Essence apartment building in Woodland Hills, a luxury apartment building that he has now invaded. So he's probably in that parking garage at this point, but no sign of law enforcement anywhere, either on the ground.
And these people in those units are probably watching this chase.
Pulled into that parking area.
It's crazy that they
quickly,
bailed on this guy.
And ran around.
All right, we're live on KFI AM 640. It is the Conway Show. Thank you, Johnny Hanson, for coming by. LA County retired deputy. How many years were with LA County?
35, retired as a sergeant.
Good for you, man.
Shaky hands.
Yes. Great dude.
Shaky.
All right, we're live on KFI.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
LAPD called off the dogs, and that guy is in some apartment building now in Woodland Hills. And it's over. There you go. Quick sports update. I know there's a lot of people who listen to the show who are Kings fans and also Ducks fans. And I'm toying with becoming a Ducks fan. I'm toying with it. But if
I think you should go for it.
I might. But right now, the Ducks are tied up in Detroit 2-2, and the Kings were tied up 2-2, and Toronto just scored, so it's 3-2 Toronto in Toronto. And Toronto was up 2-0. And who just scored? Detroit just scored. All right, so Detroit and so Anaheim and the Kings are playing within a couple hundred miles of each other. I'd say maybe 200 or 300 miles of each other. Anaheim's in Detroit, and then the Kings a little further north in Toronto. But Toronto was up 2-0. And 2-0 in the NHL is a pretty big deal. And then the Kings scored. And then they scored again. And people in Toronto have got to be pulling their effing hair out with LA coming in and beating them. The Dodgers came in and beat them in Game 6 and Game 7. I didn't do that on purpose. That wasn't a 6-7 thing. I don't know what that is, and that's a kid's thing. And no one's been able to explain it to me. That's not what I was doing. But and so LA scored. The Kings scored 2 quick goals, and it was tied 2-2. And Toronto came back and scored. But Toronto has got to be pulling their hair out with LA teams coming in there and wiping them out. The Toronto Maple Leafs hold the record for the most Game 7s ever lost in the NHL. They've lost 7 straight Game 7s in the NHL over a course of, I think, 25 or 30 years. Every time they go to a Game 7, it's usually Boston that beats them. They've lost 7 in a row. 7 Game 7s in a row. It's incredible. I mean, it's really bad luck. All right, the chase is over in Woodland Hills. We follow that. The rain is coming in. Friday is going to be heavy. Saturday is going to be heavy. And we're following all of it for you. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And now they're calling for another storm coming in possibly Thursday of next week. If you go to the mountains, snow Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday of next week. It's going to be snowing. It's going to be raining. We're going to get a lot of weather over the next week. Today's Thursday. Between now and next Thursday, we're going to have weather every single day. It's great. Unless you live in a burn scar area. I get that. It sucks. But for people that don't live in those areas, we need the rain. We need the weather. We need the moisture. And thank God we're getting it. And if we're going to get a lot of rain, we're going to get a week's worth before Thanksgiving, and your roof leaks, you've got to call my buddy Levi at Roof Buddy, 866-95-BUDDY, or go to roofbuddy.com and get your roof fixed. Don't let your house fall apart. You know, you got to keep it solid and keep it so it doesn't smell like a barn inside every time it rains. Roofbuddy.com. Or live on KFI AM 640.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
Every single year, we have a beautiful tree that's decorated by Aldic Home, and they are here. Yes. And they're going to decorate this tree. We'll put the picture up on the internet, and you can see that. And that means we are officially into Christmas season. You know, so it's time to start buying gifts, time to start thinking about the loved ones, and people you love, people you like, people you work with, and time to start buying gifts. Bellio, you're out of the gift-giving game, though, right? You made that announcement? You're not into the gift-giving. Oh, no, she's in the bathroom? Okay. But she's out of the gift-giving game. She said, she had some kind of panic attack, and she's turning bitter.
She did. She walked around today. She goes, I'm done with this birthday thing.
Yeah. She goes, I'm not doing any more birthdays. I'm like, wow, what a horrible thing to tell everybody. I'm done with everybody. I'm not doing gifts. I'm not doing cards. And then today she gave me a card that's signed for somebody. So I think she just says that. All right. Costco. Everybody loves Costco. I might go there tonight. It's a big deal. You feel special. You got a membership. You know, it's part of a tradition around Christmas. You go see what they got for Christmas. Maybe buy gifts there for your kids or your loved ones. And you buy cheap gas there. Well, Costco has always only had gas stations at their Costco stores. And whether it's a large store or one of the newer, bigger stores, it's always been on the property. But now they've got their very first standalone Costco gas station in Mission Viejo, and this might take off.
The first of its kind Costco gas station is coming to Southern California. The membership-only retailer is planning to open its first standalone gas station in the spring of 2026 in Mission Viejo on El Paseo Street. The Mission Viejo station.
Where is that, Angel? You're familiar with that Mission Viejo.
Yeah, it runs parallel to the 5 freeway, right off of Oso Parkway. If you're familiar with that area, it's on the west side of the freeway and just north of Oso.
But isn't there a Costco right there?
There's a Costco down the freeway, another exit at Crown Valley.
Oh, Crown Valley, right.
Yeah. And there's also another one off of Pacific Park at Heather Ridge. So there's a couple really close by.
My father-in-law, my wife's dad, thanks for putting that together for everybody, used to live in an apartment building next to the Costco. So he literally could wake up, throw his pants on, and walk about 50 feet and be in the Costco. And we'd go down and stay with them. That was always a treat to be able to walk right to Costco. No parking hassles. None of that. You walk right into Costco. That is a great move. So the gas station, a standalone.
In Mission Viejo on El Paseo Street. The Mission Viejo station will be a 40-pump facility, Costco's largest to date. Construction is expected to begin in the fall with a planned opening next spring.
All right. That is a cool deal. Yes, ma'am.
And you know what? You have to pass a Krispy Kreme to get there.
Oh, that's great. My favorite. Mm-hmm. Although I went to Krispy Kreme with my daughter over the weekend, and we got a dozen donuts. And I didn't look at the price. I just said, a dozen donuts. So who cares what they cost? And then I get to the window, and the lady goes, $22.50. Go, what? $22.50 for a dozen glazed donuts? There's like 3 cents worth of donuts there. And then she said, hey, do you want it? You can buy an extra dozen for $4. I go, okay, well, here, keep the $22 dozen. Give me that $4 box. I'll take that box.
Yeah.
But they try to upsell you all the time there. You know, when you're ordering, they're like, oh, you want to make it an even dozen? Like, nah, not really. Then they say, are you a rewards member? Nah. You want an upgrade for a dozen for another $4? It's literally like it's more complicated to buy donuts than it is a home. They really upsell you, and it irritates the hell out of me. I can't stand that. But all right, let's get into the Olympic air taxi. LA Olympics are going to use air taxis, maybe the first time ever with the Olympics. It's a big deal.
One of the top concerns getting anywhere in Southern California is traffic, a concern only made worse when major events come into town. But one company's way of changing the way fans travel will have them looking to the sky.
Roads? Well, we don't need roads.
It's not quite like riding in a DeLorean, or even like you're a part of the Jetsons. But the future is closer than you think, and it's landing in Southern California.
Wow. It's amazingly powerful to start to think about like what the future can be and what this could unlock for us in kind of our daily lives.
Eric Lentel.
When will be the first high-speed chase in the air? You know, guy steals an air car.
That's a good question. Are they like for issues like that? Will it just be the choppers now that'll be kind of regulating those issues,
or will they send up other police flying cars to get that guy down?
That's a good question.
And you know we're going to be the home of that. The first flying car pursuit will be in LA.
Stolen flying car.
Eric Lentel is the chief legal and strategy officer for Archer Aviation. It just signed a $126 million deal to take over the master lease at Hawthorne Municipal Airport, calling it the centerpiece of its new urban air taxi network and its headquarters for next generation electric aircraft.
Okay, so they're going to have a taxi airport. Hawthorne's going to turn into the taxi airport. And now maybe after 30 or 40 years of trying to get this established, maybe they will, and maybe we can start alleviating the traffic on the roads and the highways and the freeways with air taxis.
We were super excited when we came across Hawthorne as an opportunity.
And the timing couldn't be better.
Yeah, and Angel will be talking about it. There's traffic over, downtown Los Angeles. Be doing traffic reports for the air cabs. Where's the air traffic? That's going to happen as well.
That's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Yeah. Dig dog with you.
Archer is now the official air taxi partner of both the LA 28 Olympic and Paralympic Games and Team USA, with plans to fly VIPs, fans, and staff between key venues like SoFi and the Kia Forum.
Oh, it's going to be great. All right. That's going to be at the Olympics in 2028. We are live on KFI AM 640.
Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.